In this video, you will learn how to set up your stocks as raw materials or finished goods and link up the raw materials into the finished goods master setting. At Stock Setup, click Stock Master. In the earlier training video, you had already learned how to set up a new stock into the Stock Master. When you create a new stock, click the Add button. By default, the stock type is always set as stock. Click the drop-down box and you will find that there are other options like finished goods or raw material. For demonstration purpose, we had already preset some of the stocks to be either raw materials or finished goods. In this example here, this is set to raw materials. Another example is the finished goods, which is the hampers. The stock type is set as finished goods. Once the stock type is set as raw materials or finished goods, you can click on the raw material tabs to see what are the items that are set as raw materials. Similarly, click on the finished goods tabs. These are the stocks that are set as finished goods. At stock entry, click finished goods. Notice that there is no add button in this finished goods module. Highlight on one of the finished goods and click edit. For demonstration purpose, there are already 6 raw materials in this finished goods master. To add more raw materials into the finished goods, click the add button. Enter the raw material, the quantity, and the unit cost. It is important to note that you do not add in new raw materials into finished goods that has got entry posted into it. We recommend that you create a new finished goods and add in the raw materials again. In this example here, you can put the quantity to be more than 1, depending on the package of these hampers. And the system will show the total quantity and the total cost of each finished goods. If there are some changes to the raw materials component, create a new finished goods and save it. Next, go to the finished goods master. Double click on the new finished goods. Click the recurring button and point back to the earlier finished goods products, and you'll be imported over. You can change the quantity of each item to increase the raw materials or to add in new raw materials. And save the new record. Click OK. Take note that as you add in the components of the raw materials into the finished goods, the total cost here will be updated to the stock master. Highlight on the record and click View. At the buying detail, you will see that the standard cost is updated over here. You had earlier learned how to set the stock as a raw materials or finished goods in the stock master, and at the same time add the raw materials into the finished goods master. Now you are going to learn how to add the finished goods into the inventory system once your store produces the finished goods for the purpose of selling. At stock entry, click stock journal. Click add. On this date, Assuming your store produces 10 units of the hampers, click Add. Select the finished goods that's being produced and enter the quantity. For example, 10 units is being produced. Notice that the unit cost is being extracted out here. Click the Add button. Notice that the raw materials are being minus out from the system based on the finished goods master settings, as shown here. And each quantity of the finished goods is dependent on the number of finished goods produced. Delete over the record, and if 1 unit of finished goods is produced, the raw material quantity will be updated accordingly. However, do not do this. Change the finished goods quantity and the raw material quantity will not change. Click Delete to delete away the records and redo again. Enter the correct quantity of the finished goods and the system will call out the correct quantity of the raw materials to be deducted. If there's any cross-reference production cut number, enter the production number for cross-reference purpose and click Save. Click OK. Once complete, click Exit. We shall now go to the Enquiry and click on the Stock Cut activity. Call out the finished goods and you will see that the quantity is being updated as 10 units with the unit cost. Now look at the raw materials, one of the raw materials item. Enter the stock code and select the raw material. 10 pieces is being deducted for every 10 units of finished goods produced. Another raw material. 20 pieces of the raw materials is being deducted for every 10 units of the finished goods produced. You have successfully learned how to set up the finished goods master and add the finished goods into the inventory system using the finished goods module.